Welcome to the Saints Sports Corner. We got a great show for you today. We're going to be talking about the QB battle in New Orleans. Training camp has started, and we're about to find out who is going to be the New Orleans Saints starting quarterback. We got a lot more of that on the Saints Sports Corner right after this. Let's dive into action from week 1 of the Saints training camp. What went right? What went wrong? Things we were impressed with? Let's find out. We're going to find out, did Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shough take the early lead in the training camp battle? So let's dive in. So based on what we're hearing, all quarterbacks are doing some good things. Some quarterbacks are having their flaws. Tyler Shough is spinning it. Jake Hanner is spinning it. Spencer Rattler is spinning it. But the one thing that's coming out of camp is that Spencer Rattler seems more poised. He seems more, he's getting the ball out quicker. He seems like a quarterback that's already been through the fire and that's showing year 2 growth, which we spoke about on previous pods because we knew most quarterbacks have to jump from year 1 to 2. And Spencer Rattler is doing that. But Tyler Shough is also spinning it. He has some great moments. Throws to Jawan Johnson. Spencer Rattler has some great throws, some deep shots, some intermediate shots to Mason Tipton. You have some intermediate shots to Rashid Shaheed. We got deep shot to Chris Olave. Some medium shots to Chris Olave. So basically, all the quarterbacks are balling, but the thing that's sticking out is that Spencer Rattler is being more assertive. He's taking more command. Tyler Shough is being a little bit more shaky. He's performing like a rookie, a guy who hasn't got it figured out, who's not familiar with the speed, who hasn't really taken the amount of snaps that Spencer Rattler has taken, which is understandable and which is okay. Doesn't mean Spencer Rattler is in the lead. Doesn't mean Tyler Shough is in the lead. But what we do see is that one guy played in the NFL and one guy didn't, which is understandable. The thing I take from it, from all the media that I'm hearing, is that here's my honest opinion. My honest opinion. This is not a media's opinion. This is not a hot take. This is not Kellen Moore's take. This is not the organization's take. I believe that the organization want Tyler Shough to win it. This is my opinion. I believe that the coaches want Tyler Shough to win this job, which sucks for Spencer Rattler because Spencer Rattler has done nothing but prepare himself to lead this franchise. But I think they can't come out and say that, right? This is just the politics of the NFL. They're putting him in all these different interviews with John Gruden. He's taking these interviews. Obviously, they're raving about him behind closed door. They're taking them all in this meet and greet. Same thing, normal things that they do with the rookies. But for some reason with Tyler Shough, it just feels a little different. It doesn't feel like a normal rookie coming to the crawfish barrel or getting snowball. Things like that they normally do. Sure, the Superdome. It seems like they're trying to quietly say he's the starter without him putting the work in. Now, what I want to address is I don't think that that's the right approach in terms of the Saints organization. Once again, this is not their opinion, but this is what I feel. This is what I'm getting. Everybody's basically saying, Spencer Rattler, he has to do X, Y, and Z in order to win this. He has to be superb. And I am at fault for saying this also. But then I kind of sat back and watched it and I thought about it. Why does Spencer Rattler have to be otherworldly to beat a rookie QB who statistically and talent-wise he has always been better than? I thought about that. I was like, why does he have to outperform this rookie? Shouldn't the best performer be the starter for the job. Now, don't get me wrong. It's just practice. They didn't really put on pads yet. Bullets are they're blitzing and they'll do things like that. And guys are getting after it. The pass rush is getting after it. DBs is making plays. Shout out to Quincy Riley for picking off Spencer Rattler. But the most important thing is, why does Spencer Rattler have to be otherworldly? Why can't he just be the best quarterback in the room? And it's one of those scenarios where you don't park a Lamborghini in the garage to watch it sit. You want to let the top down, drive fast, and let the air and sun hit you. It's the same thing with Tyler Shough. But I'll be wary of that just because this same situation played out with Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers. And it's ironic that this is playing out in New Orleans because, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Spencer Rattler is Drew Brees. For all you Saints fans about to go nuts. No, I'm not saying Spencer Rattler is Drew Brees. What I'm saying is this same type of scenario was the same with Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers, where Drew Brees had performed. He was a veteran. He wasn't performing up to par. So they drafted Phillip Rivers because they wasn't sure Drew Brees was going to be Drew Brees. And he had 2 really good seasons. And then obviously he had the injury. And next thing you know, they gave the keys to Spencer Rattler because they've been wanting to do that to begin with. The only difference is Spencer Rattler hadn't put the type of season Drew Brees had put in. And now he's in a situation where they really just want to give the keys to Tyler Shough. Right? And that's okay. But at the same time, what message does that send to the locker room is what I'm asking. For guys who's giving they all, competing and putting their body on the line, what message does that send? Is that a healthy message you want to go in as a first-year head coach? This is the thing that separates Sean Payton from a lot of coaches. This is the thing that separates a guy like I forgot the coach for the Lions, Detroit. A guy like that from other coaches. It doesn't matter where you get drafted. It's about who's the best guy to play. Pierre Thomas is a perfect example of that. They had drafted a running back, and Pierre Thomas in the 3rd round pick. I forgot the running back's name because it was so long ago. I should have did more research and been more prepared. I apologize for that. But Pierre Thomas played way more than the 3rd round pick, and the 3rd round pick wound up not really playing in the NFL at all that the Saints had drafted, because Sean Payton is talent based. He don't care who it is, where you's drafted, and he has a track record with undrafted running backs. Until that time, Chris Ivory, a lot of guys, he wants the best physical, talented performer to play. He don't care where you at. He just want the right guy to play. I don't care what the pundits say. You got to show me. And I think them just trying to give Tyler Shough the job and say, guys was basically even. I think Kellen Moore said in this press conference, based on the analytics we have, both of the guys was even. Okay. I mean, if that's what he say, that's what he say. But I don't think Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shough is even by a long shot. Was it close? Yes. I'm pretty sure it was close, but I don't think it was even. I think Spencer Rattler asserted himself like a pro, and Tyler Shough asserted himself better than most imagine. But once again, they're throwing on air. And now that the bullets are starting to get faster and faster and they're starting to fly, you're starting to see Spencer Rattler do what Spencer Rattler does. He was built for it. He's ready for it. Like I said, nobody questions Spencer Rattler's talent. They don't. They question whether he can get it right up here, and you basically can see it on the field on a consistent basis because he have all the talent in the world. No, he's not the 6'5" guy. But I'd be remiss to say anybody has a otherworldly arm. He can make every throw. It's the footwork, it's the timing, it's those things that's going to make Spencer Rattler a great quarterback if he ever becomes one. Do I think he have the tools? Absolutely. Do I think he was dealt a raw deal by being a rookie for the New Orleans Saints? Absolutely. There was so many injuries. You never really seen Spencer Rattler at his best because the Saints were never at their best. Think about it. Does that mean Tyler Shough is not going to outplay him for the foreseeable future? No. Tyler Shough can have this one good week and Tyler Shough can go on a rant for the next 3 weeks and all into preseason and absolutely blow everybody away. That's very possible. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying don't be so remiss to dismiss this guy as if he's just a Garrett Grayson. These guys are totally different. Spencer Rattler is a real talent, and I think we need to give him the respect that he deserves. That's all I'm saying. So, another thing, Mason Tipton out here making catches again. Mason Tipton has decided that if you don't find a 3, then it's all on me. I can help you out. If you don't have a 3, a wide receiver 3, then count on Mason Tipton, right? Hey, we'll see. Like I said, it's just camp. We haven't seen the bullets start really flying yet. You know, they're really just throwing on air. And we'll see once they put the pads on. We'll see once they actually, trying to get after the quarterback. But to this point, shout out to Mason Tipton. Also, Rashid Shaheed. They say Rashid Shaheed looked like an all-pro out there. I seen some of the clips, and he constantly beating the defense. But at the same time, we got to see how our defense is anyway. We don't know if our defense top tier. So maybe he's just beating a bad defense, right? Maybe he's just picking on a terrible defense. That don't mean the player's terrible. They just might not have the talent to overcome the defense that they're trying to run. We know they got young studs in Brian Breesy and Kool-Aid McKinstry, Alontae Taylor, which is balling because I heard Alontae Taylor out here balling. But we just need them to put it together consistently. That's all I'm saying. And we also signed Bullard, and we also signed Blackman, the safety from Indianapolis, who's had an injury-riddled career but also showed promise. That can help, but how long is he going to stay on the field when it comes to Justin Blackman? Same thing with Bullard. We know he can be a chess piece along the line, but is it going to amount to any sacks? We want these players to perform. I get they are a lot of cheap contracts, but we need them to perform. Guys out there saying we're only going to win 2 games. Most people predicting that not to make the playoffs. I think they can make the playoffs. But the little things got to be the little things. You got to be able to run the ball. You got to be able to play defense. You got to be able to have a competent quarterback. Those things are never going to change. And until we see that can happen, jury's still out. Like I said, I'm impressed from what I'm seeing, but then again, it could be just fandom early in the season that football is finally here. So when we think about this Saints team, we really need to understand we have to be patient with them. This is not your Saints team of old. This is not 2017 Saints. This is not 2020 Saints. This is not 2011 Saints or 2013, 2009, none of it. This is really a rebuild. So it's very important to go back to our conversation earlier that Kellen Moore chooses the right guy to lead his team. You have the veterans watching. They're watching you. They know who's playing well. They know who actually is putting the work in. Not saying that none of the quarterbacks ain't putting the work in. They all putting the work in. But you got to be careful when you're making these decisions. Because what you're saying is, this guy can outplay this guy, but I still won't have no shot. And that gets around not only the locker room, it gets around the league, whether you like it or not. One thing Sean Payton was famous for is running backs knew I don't have to be penciled in to be on the depth chart. All I got to do is perform. That's why running backs always wanted to come to New Orleans, because they knew I just got to do me. Undrafted free agents love New Orleans because of Sean Payton. He was honest. He was honest about what he saw. You either good enough or you wasn't. You have to demonstrate it on the field. That's all I asked in our QB battle. Make sure it's demonstrated on the field on a consistent basis. We all know these numbers that we get from camp and this and that don't really mean anything. Cool. But if Spencer Rattler beats him out, I don't give a damn if Spencer Rattler had 3 more touchdowns than him. If he played the best, he should get the first crack of playing. That's all I'm saying. That doesn't mean he's going to light the world on fire when the season starts. We just got to make sure the right guys are playing at the moment. For the psyche of the team. You're building a new structure. This is your structure now, Kellen Moore. Make sure that the players that you put in to play are actually the best players to play at that time. That's all we can ask for. But let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the defense being stingy and the defense winning the first 2 days at Saints training camp. Welcome back to the Saints Sports Corner. Let's talk about that stingy defense. Guys like Quincy Riley and Alontae Taylor out here being an absolute ball hawk, being all over the receivers, making plays after plays. We're going to need to see this from our Saints corners. I still don't know who the starters is on the outside, but we need to see our corners making this. It went from our strongest position to one of the positions that, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't even know. I don't know how to feel about our corners. I'm not saying they're bad, but there's just a question mark. And I think in order for us to succeed, we have to play some lockdown defense, especially in the 3-4, especially with some of the young guys. This is a younger group, and I think they have the talent. The thing is, once again, the same thing with the offense. It got to be more consistent. And so far, so good. I can't wait till they put the pads on to really see these guys jam these receivers, get in their face, and actually make plays on the ball. That's what I can't wait for. Right now they're just doing installs and red zone and stuff like that. But, boy, when they put them pads on, that's when you really get excited because now you get to see it translate. And I know you guys excited for it. I can't wait. But also, when the D-line and offensive line, that's the number one thing I can't wait to see. The defensive line get after the offensive line. Man, oh man, I can't wait to see those highlights because the offensive line is one of the biggest question marks heading into the season. And boy, we know we only going to go as far as this offensive line. So, man, camp, not a big week. There was a ton of plays made, but I think we're heading in the right direction. Juwan Johnson came out and said this is probably the best vibe since Jameis Winston went 5-2 with the team. All right. That's saying something, but we got to see it. I believe him. We just got to see it translate to the field. Also, Noah Fant is visiting, and I think that is huge. I've been screaming about a tight end for the last 3 years when it came to the Saints. Noah Fant will be a huge addition. A huge addition. You already got Taysom Hill and Taysom Hill dealing with an injury. Juwan Johnson up and down inconsistent. We know Kellen Moore like to use 2 tight ends to run block, but also to catch. So I'm excited about this. How much do they pay him? That's where, because he was just in Cincinnati. Cincinnati has Joe Burrow. There's no way I'm leaving Joe Burrow. So for them to actually have a shot at him, they might have to open that. Gail might have to open that pocketbook a little. But man, that would be a nice move. Foster Monroe is dealing with a injury too. So we're gonna really need some tight end depth, and also the other tight end The other tight end retired. So, yeah, man, shout out to Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. He retired. So, it's a lot going on right now with the Saints. The Saints are all over the place, both transactionally and on the field. Like, there's a lot of things going on Airline Boulevard. It really is. Like, every day the Saints is in news for something, and that's always been the way they operated. But, we also got the safeties back there, Justin Reed. We got the young guns that's trying to win minutes. Jordan Howard, is he going to take a big step? We'll see. Like I said, they just signed Blackman. We'll see if he still got it. So, man, there's a lot of moving parts. A lot to be excited about. A lot to be excited about. I can't wait to see these rookies in preseason. This is the last week without football. Next Thursday, is the Hall of Fame game. So we're going to be able to see it live. We're going to be able to see it, in high def. I can't wait, man. I know you guys can't wait, man. But if there's anything you guys seen that I didn't see, if there's anything you guys want me to discuss, let me know. I don't want to ramble on this podcast. I don't want you guys waste you guys' time. And we're going to talk about more. This is just the first one. This is just the immediate reaction pod. And I want you guys to stay tuned. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so I can make this type of content for y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, your likes, your comments. Make sure y'all give me a like. And as always, thank you guys for watching the Saints Sport Corner. We'll be back with more. And I'm out.